The mop needs to connect to Wi-Fi? And we're back. Hello and welcome to the Hypertrophy Odyssey chapter 52. I was gonna say 42, but 10 off. 52. Today it is Monday, aka the Vulcan Raven workout. I'm looking forward to it. I'm feeling good. My lower body's feeling a little shot, but we don't have to worry about that today. So overall today's pretty good. It's already spring weathery outside, which is nice. And I come out to a nice 60 degrees outside. Might try to record a video outside. I don't know though. It would be nice though, but who knows. Anyways, it's a great day. It already feels like a good day. A little cloudy, but still, who cares? Still gonna be a good day. I don't think it's gonna rain today, so that's nice. Enough about the weather. So today's video is inspired by something that happened this morning. So basically, what happened was, today's story starts with last night, where we have a shared electric toothbrush. Now we don't share the same head, me and my wife, and thus we use the same base, but we have our own heads, right? That's fine. So last night she drops it, the base, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. Sometimes it survives. We've had one where it didn't survive. So this morning I was like, I had forgotten about that, so then I plug in my thing and then I'm like, all right, time to go. And then I start going at it, and then all of a sudden I realize, oh, it's busted. So this entire conversation is just, honey, the toothbrush is broken. The entire idea of the fact that we are so technologicalized that everything is like basically connected to something, either Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, and it's kind of crazy. Sure, you can break a regular toothbrush and you probably should replace your toothbrush, you know, frequently. It's not the most caveman of things, you know, but also these toothbrushes that are super balls expensive, which are good. I'm not gonna front and say like the electric toothbrush has been shit. It's actually been really good. It's made it so my teeth aren't stained or anything like that. It also made it so I'm not destroying my gums. That's just me, because whenever I brush my teeth, I go unga boonga mode and just go as hard as humanly possible. Because of this toothbrush, it's been great, and I can actually, you know, make sure my teeth aren't fucked up. But the issue is that I think we've gotten to the point where technology is great, but it's also very sensitive, to the point where if you mess it up a little bit, if you drop it once, it's done. And that's kind of annoying. Phones have gotten better at that, but then again, there is the phone drop where you drop it one in the wrong angle at the wrong time, and then your phone's just done. The screen's fucked, or for some reason the touch is no longer registering, so it just like, it hit the perfect spot where it like, the like cable that connects the screen to the touchpad behind it is like breaks, so of course that happens. I think it's just funny to look back at all technology and you're like, wow, there's so much shit that is all interconnected. Like the amount of things that require you to connect it to Wi-Fi immediately upon buying it and or opening it up is literally insane. There are certain products that make sense as to why you would connect it to something. For example, this camera actually is a perfect example of that. I know that the reason why I have to connect it is to get updates on it. It is a smart camera. It could do these types of things where it'll follow my head. But something that I did not understand why it needed to connect to Wi-Fi is the LED lights that I bought the other day, because realistically, why do I need to connect it to Wi-Fi? It's like, I know that I can do it via Wi-Fi on my phone, which is understandable, but also, can't they just do that via Bluetooth? I don't understand that personally. And even then, I have a remote. What the fuck is the point? Like, I'm not going out of my way to download your proprietary app in order to do the things for it. Is kind of stupid. I'm not a fan of that at all. The interconnectivity of things in now's technology is kind of crazy, and when you look at it, it's kind of insane how many things you can buy now. Oh, another example of something that's insane is the smart fridges, aka the fridges that have like the tablets basically installed in them. What the fuck is the point of that? I don't know many people who have it, and I don't see anybody who would want to even go out of their way to get it. You know what I mean? Even if it was a standard thing, I think most people would just be like, I'd rather have the water and ice maker rather than a tablet in my refrigerator, because what the fuck is the point? I'm pretty sure they also have it now where they have dishwashers that have like little tablets in them where you can do stuff on it. There is a limit to the push of technology into everything. Toothbrush, although great, I actually do like the toothbrush technology we've gotten to, because like I said, I'm very unga boonga, so it helps me not be that. But also, I find it lame that one drop and it's done. I have to spend an exuberant amount of money for something that thankfully is good. It's worth the money, but also I have to spend an exuberant amount of money on it because it is worth it. It's like, it's damned if I do, damned if I don't, you know? It's either I spend the money on it or I don't spend the money on it and have fucked up teeth. So I have to pay the price, which is fine. It's just also, I wish it was like at least a little bit stronger of a thing to survive a couple of falls, because I'm gonna assume that most people, you know, drop their toothbrush occasionally or drop things like that, you know, just every once in a while. I think that's why phones have cases. I'm not gonna get a case for my toothbrush, but at the same time, it had like some rubber inside of it, making it slightly bigger. I don't necessarily mind, you know. I think that's also another part of technology where they've gotten it so like slimmed down and streamlined. I don't mind if it's a little bit bigger in order for it to have a longer battery. I don't mind it being a little bit bigger so it's a little bit more robust. I know there's the entire like technological obsolescence. Yeah, it's obsolescence, I believe. I think that's how you say it. Yeah, there is that entire theory slash, well, let's be real here, notion that they make things technologically wise that are just going to go out of date. That is true to a certain point. It's just mostly, I think nowadays it's just mostly batteries and stuff that are messing, that are going to be causing issues in about like 10 years. Old phones are just going to have old batteries that are going to start puffing up because they're just old and they start expanding and stuff. That's probably going to be the real issue about it. But technology really is just, I feel like after 2019 has really kind of stopped evolving that much. There hasn't been like a crazy like, oh my god, this is brand new and revolutionary. Anything that Apple has put out is basically just a copy of what any Android phone has been doing for the past 5 years before that. So realistically, it hasn't been anything new in quite some time. So that's just a weird rant that I was thinking about this morning, and it kind of sucks that, of course, now I have to, well, thankfully, I don't have to pay for a toothbrush again because we have a replacement because there was a 2-pack that we bought, thankfully. Also, at the same time, kind of pissed that we have to pull out the spare one and now use that one as our main toothbrush. It's kind of just annoying, you know? Yeah, it was just something I was thinking about. And then that, and also that we've become so reliant on technology now. When something breaks, it's like, eye roll, head roll, fucking everything rolls, and then you're just kind of stuck until you charge up the new one or go out and buy another one. It is what it is. So it is the world that we live in. But speaking about that, I will see you on the inside. Alright, so first start off with dips. These felt great, not too bad. Going slowly up on them, not really worried about plateauing on them since I'm losing weight. So it's not too bad, but anyways. So to start off with today, I wanted to talk about how modern technology is not built to last like old technology, and it sucks. I think, you know, you look back at a lot of old technology and a lot of it still works to this day, but yet, you know, newer things just like outdone, or even worse, it doesn't get supported. That's the biggest downfall of digital media, I will say. If it isn't listed anymore, it's game over. It's done. I talk about it briefly later as one of the benefits, but one of the disadvantages of it is that if it's not listed somewhere, you have to just, the only way to get something is through back alleyways or to hope that you already have it before it goes away. A big example of this is on the PS4, the PT teaser that came out from Konami, made by Kojima, which was supposed to be the new Silent Hill game. It got taken off the store, and then now people, I think to this day, still sell it with PS4s that have it still. Like, you can't get it anywhere else. If you had it, if you don't have it, you just don't have it. I still have a PS4 with it, thankfully, but still, it's ridiculous that they have to do something like that. To give you a little bit of an extra story on this, one day me and the missus were looking for Bring It On because she wanted to watch it, but it wasn't available anywhere, like to watch, to stream, or to even buy streamed. It was really weird. It was as if it had disappeared off the face of the earth. It was very weird. I went through some back alley channel ways in order to get it, which is normal. I don't mind doing that. One of the benefits of the digital age, if you can have all the storage, you can do anything. But that's one of the issues with digital, is that you just don't have everything with you. But, and also speaking about technology that isn't made like it used to be, I think also of like things like video game systems and TVs even, where like old TVs, you would hit them and they would instantly, somehow that would fix it. Maybe it's because we're, you know, we all have a little bit of the Oonga Boonga in us, and all of a sudden hitting something is how it would work, right? It's like, it's something primitive in us that we think that hitting it will work for some reason. But even then, sometimes it just just work. Like, you know, just tapping it a couple of times and boom, there you go, it worked. And things like that. For example, even video games, when it comes to like older, like cartridge-based games, like I can pop in a Nintendo game into an NES, a top loader, because the side loader was known for being trash, but a top loader regardless, and it still probably worked just as well as it did when it first came out. So I think there's something to be said about that, and how modern technology now is just like, one, it's digital, or for some reason when we went back to physical media, we decided to go to vinyl, which is fine, but also vinyl is so easy to mess up, it's kind of crazy. I'll never forget 1 year for my brother's birthday, shout out Nelson for this story, but 1 year for my brother's birthday, his friend left a DJ set outside and it was the middle of summer, so the records warped and became basically like bowls. I'll never forget that. But still, regardless, older technology built to last. I mean, I also think of like people who like used to like throw around the GameCube all over the place because it could survive anything. You could still play it even without the door, I'm pretty sure. That was like the big deal from it. And this is like the disc era. So, you know, when you started getting into like serious shit like the disc era from the PS2 era and all that other stuff. But it really is something probably nowadays about the planned obsolescence and the fact that technology is starting to reach a climax where we're starting to have to get into other realms and other territories such as virtual reality in order to really push the envelope. Like, computers are just now, they've been the same for like the past like 6 years, I would say, without it being like the super cutting edge. But even then, the super cutting edge is only like being used up by a few things. I had a conversation with my other friend the other day where 4K is now the standard, which is kind of crazy. You know what I mean? Like, it's interesting. Things like that, where it's like technology has slightly passed me by a little bit, but also not really, because I'm like, I like to stay on top of it as much as I can. But still, it is interesting what needs and doesn't need interconnectivity, you know? The fact that I can go out right now and smart out my entire house and have everything possibly connected to Wi-Fi and or Bluetooth is, quite frankly, a little scary in the long term, but also it's such a crazy place that we live in now, where there are things that probably, we're gonna get to the point where things won't work unless they are connected at all, and then once for some reason you don't have Wi-Fi or whatever, you're screwed, and that's going to become a big issue. I feel like, I think the other big issue that isn't really talked about is the fact that we won't be able to replace batteries and things. That is a huge issue, and I don't think that we're not going to feel this issue until like 10 years from now. But all the batteries from all old phones or old devices that we aren't able to take out is just going to not be good, because most of the time they will probably expand. So eventually we're going to have issues with a bunch of technology that we can't access directly and just kind of get screwed over, and you're gonna either have to buy something new, break it apart, hope it's break apartable, or just you're kind of just screwed. I have an old Samsung S7, I believe it's an S7. I think the battery has started to inflate a little bit on it. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it has, which is kind of worrisome, because now I'm like, all right, so this has just become what is considered a bomb basically, so I got to worry about that. But it's not even just cell phones. Like I said, like a toothbrush, if I just leave it, we just stop using it, or it gets old, I have to buy a whole new one and then throw that one away, which just doesn't seem right. But you know, these companies just want the money, so it is what it is, unfortunately. The return to physical media is starting to pick up steam. I feel like most people want physical things back again. You know, you see it with the resurgence of things like vinyl. You're starting to see the remnants of it with tape players and cassette tapes. There you go, that was what I was looking for. You're not going to see it much with like VHS, but I feel like DVD is still a popular thing, you know, especially with so many options being digital and it always being ever so changing. People are going to want to go back to owning things. I don't know, maybe I'm looking a little too into it, but who knows. I would be a person to bring a physical book to the gym to read it while in between sets, but I also think and know that it is very cumbersome to do something like that. So I do like technology in that sense, where you can all put it in one little device, but the rest of it kind of sucks in that your whole life is based on the one device. So it becomes a game of balance.
What do you mean the chair needs a software update?
And we're back. Hello and welcome to the workout debriefing. Exercises not filmed, none. Exercises skipped, also none. Almost skipped the low rows, but thankfully didn't have to. Right when I was done with lateral raises, the machines got opened up. So I was like, oh, perfect. Because there was 2 bushels of young teenagers there using the machines, and I was like, fuck, I'm not gonna be able to do it. But they left, so it was good. But anyways, to kind of put a bow on the subject matter at hand that I was talking about earlier, I think it is ridiculous that we have so much technology now integrated in so many aspects of our lives. Obviously, it's a little crazy, but also at the same time, it's nice in a way. It is something where, okay, there are certain things that have gone for the better, which is good, you know, the betterment of society plus, you know, our stuff, but also the degradation of society as well. You know, people literally on their phones 24/7. The fact that I could probably watch a YouTube video right here while driving is not a good thing necessarily. Now, with that being said, are there some benefits to the new technology versus the old technology? Why, yes. I think the biggest one for me personally, as somebody who's unemployed, is the fact that I can, through some sneaky back alley ways, can get a bunch of stuff for very little price. That is something that I can't do if I were to go the traditional routes of certain things. And I think that that is one of the bigger factors in something like that. It is nice to go to the gym and have the ability to read a book from my phone and also record my workout and also listen to music all on one device versus, let's say, back in the day, maybe even like 15 years ago, that would have been 4 different things I would have needed to carry all at the same time, which would have been so much extra, but now it's this fucking thing. But while that's great, we're also kind of like a slave to this thing as well, which is kind of annoying, but that is what it is. Do I wish I could bring a book, like a physical book, to the gym? Yes. Do I own the book that I'm reading right now? Technically yes, but it is torn to shreds, so taking it to the gym will just make it worse, if anything. So I'd rather not. I'd rather preserve the book and just have the digital version of it. Now, that is the issue with it. The digital version will always be inferior because the physical version will always have that tactile sense. The page, there's no like blue light shining in your face as you're trying to read it. It isn't giving you random notifications for the current price of Bitcoin, things like that. But also, I get the importance of certain technologies. I mean, for real, my teeth, pretty nice. They've had the consistent niceness for the last year plus since I switched over to an electronic toothbrush. It is probably one of the best decisions I've ever made. I have not needed anything extra. Like, my teeth aren't looking funky and fucked up like they used to after a while. Also, my gums don't bleed and hurt after a while as well. There are certain things like that, but then there are other things where you need to connect certain things to Wi-Fi. You have to connect like lights and things like that to Wi-Fi, which I kind of get, but I also don't understand. There was that one story of the guy, I forgot what happened to him, but like, I think it was like a Ring camera, apparently like he got reported for making a racist remark by a delivery truck person, which he didn't actually do. And so Amazon decided to shut off all of his smart electronics, which basically fucked him beyond belief because he couldn't do anything at that point. Like, he couldn't turn on the lights, he couldn't do basically anything because he had smarted out his home, which is another issue, but that's something else, I guess. I don't want to get into the smart aspect of it too much, but I'll say this: there is a certain balancing act that you have to do when it comes to technology. When it comes to something like that, where, you know, you say, Alexa, turn on the lights, or some shit like that, and then all of a sudden it turns on the light, that's a step too far. I think that's when you're starting to get into the point where a company controls everything. But then again, they're always listening in no matter what you do. Just always remember, say stupid shit to your technology so that they know that you're on a list somewhere. If you're watching this, you're probably on a list, so who knows. But anyways, tell me what you think in the comments below. I just thought this was a funny, interesting thing because of honey, the toothbrush is broken. You know, that sounds like such a ridiculous thing to say, and it's such a modern thing to say. Back then, maybe even 15 years ago, I'd have been like, oh, my toothbrush head is fucked, I need to get a new one. That's simple as that. Not the toothbrush is broken. You know what I mean? I don't know, it just sounds such a weird statement. But anyways, tell me what you think in the comments below. Please drop a like and comment and subscribe. I appreciate any of those. Thank you very much for even watching this far. I appreciate it. I will be back on tomorrow with something new, of course, because I'm always bringing out something new, but thank you very much for watching. One day I'll re-release an episode because that'd be hilarious. But anyways, I thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. I will see you on the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Peace.